beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel, Roseology. So this pick a card, we are talking to our higher self and getting a message or receiving some guidance from this divine essence, this divine part of us. So a higher self, in my opinion, is a part of the soul, sort of like how the ancient Cometians, or otherwise known as ancient Egyptians, believed in a person being made up of 3 to 5 essential parts. It changes from person to person, but the ancient Egyptians believed in us housing a Ka, Ba, and Ach. And the Ba was the personality or the ego of us, the way that we identify, how it is that we come off to others. The Ka was our life force energy. This was divine energy, our higher self. This was the energy that the Creator used in order to give us life, the part of us that cannot be tainted or compromised by life experiences like karma. And then you have the Ach, that is the more so evolved part of us after death, where the Ba and Ka merged together, should you pass the judgment of Ma'at, the Neteru Ma'at. We are consulting the Ka today, our higher self, life force energy, the part of us that has not been corrupted or polluted by our own actions and decisions that we made throughout our life. So this is the part of us that is considered divine because it is holy and pure, and that is the part of us we will be hearing from today, okay? And this is why I say that we are a fraction of the divine, because at the end of the day, there's so many different parts that make us up. We're so multidimensional, so multifaceted, which is amazing. But yeah, we're going to be consulting the Ka today, or the higher self, all right? For those that are ready to get to the meditation, let me just say, like I always do, that this is a general reading for the collective. So in order for this reading to resonate with you, you need to be synced into the energy of this reading. And to help you do that, and to help you select a pile with your third eye instead of your physical ones, I'll be offering a 60-second meditation. 30 seconds into that meditation, I'll be placing crystals for those that like to pick piles with objects on them. If you are drawn to another pile, that's because there's another message for you in that pile. So if you'd like to participate in this meditation, get into a relaxed position. Become aware of your entire body, starting with your feet, working that awareness up in sections from the feet to the head. Then take a deep breath in through your nose for around 5 seconds. Hold that breath for 3 seconds and exhale for 6 to 7 seconds. Then ask your guides, spirit, the universe, or all of them to connect you to your higher self to reveal the pile meant for you. So this is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. And we'll start that meditation right now. Here on pile 1, aquamarine. On pile 2, tiger's eye. Pile 3, lapis lazuli. And pile 4, lepidolite. I'll give you guys another 30 seconds to meditate with the crystals on each pile. So hopefully that meditation was enough time for you to pick a pile and tap into your own psychic awareness. I want to take this time to thank your guides, my guides, of course, our higher self for coming through today, and beautiful spirit for these messages. Now let's see what your higher self has to say to you today, and I'll meet you at your pile. All right, and pile number 1, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting off with your tarot cards before making our way to your stack of oracle cards here. So let's just get started to see what message your higher self has for you today, okay? And the very first card that we have here is the 5 of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles in reverse. So the message from your higher self, pile 1, is to detach from your assets, possessions, and the things that you own because they're somehow affecting how you feel about yourself. And this definitely looks and feels like finances for many of you. Finances are weakening your connection somehow to your higher self because you've placed it on such a pedestal. With your finances affecting how you feel, or if you have a good or a bad day, it really seriously impacts your energy. This may not be money for all of you, but it's definitely something material, it's something 3D that is keeping you from accessing the higher dimensions, the higher realms, or it's keeping you from clearly hearing your higher self. Your higher self may be blocked by ego. Okay, so it's something that you are identifying with. It's something that you are sort of attaching yourself or attaching your ego to that is keeping you from accessing your higher self. So this has made you feel more distant from the highest version of yourself. And just how she looks here in this Five of Pentacles, as you can see, she looks very distant. She looks like she's, let me just hold it up. She looks like she's she almost looks as if she's like lost or abandoned or not allowed to access something or somewhere. She just looks like she's displaced to me, you know? And so that's what I'm seeing here, is that there's something within the 3D, your 3D realm, your 3D reality, your 3D life that is keeping you from your higher self. And that is what is making you feel maybe disconnected from it. So if you feel disconnected from the highest version of yourself, from your own intuition, from your heart space, it's something material for sure. It's something within your environment, something that the ego is very attached to, something that the ego has lied to you and told you that you need. That's what's keeping you from your highest version. Oh, okay. I know what this is. This is financial struggle. For a lot of you guys, for some of you guys, this is financial struggle that is keeping you from accessing or hearing or being guided by your higher self because of the stress of it. Your highest self is also saying that something invaluable like money has made you lose the real value here. Something invaluable like money. You placed some sort of importance. You've been conditioned into thinking that something is more important or valuable than what it actually is. And this has you feeling like this Five of Pentacles. Something that you've placed value into has made you feel worthless or of less value. And this could be a person in your life as well. Like I said, for many of you, this is money. Another message that's coming through, though, is if things haven't been working out for you, it's because you might need to consult your higher self to ask if you are on the right path. Some of you aren't supposed to be working where you work at, but you do it for the money. Your higher self wants you to trust in the fact that financially you will be more successful being on the right path versus working here or there for the money. Your higher self wants you gone from some sort of lifestyle, habit, job, maybe possibly even a relationship, but it definitely feels, like I said, more financial for most of you, but it really could be anything within your own external environment that is sort of, it's separating you, it's distancing you. The same way she's looking in this Five of Pentacles, it's like she's distanced away. She's away from her safe place. She's away from her security. She's away from her guidance. She's away from her truest self, her truest version. She's away from her highest version. Because, there's different versions of us depending on our circumstances. Take a person that's been starved for a week and someone that's been eating steak dinners for a week. Those two individuals are going to act completely different. It's the same in terms of finances. You're not yourself right now because of the struggle, because of the financial stress that you've been under. If you were secure financially right now, you'd be more able to hear from your higher self. Your higher self wants to say, do not allow your financial situation or circumstances to distract you so much that you pull away from me, that you put me on the back burner, because I will guide you through this. Your higher self is going to guide you through this. So let's go on ahead, you guys, and check out your oracle cards to see what else it is that we're seeing, what other messages your higher self may have for you today. All right, and the very first card that we have here is exchanging gifts. Yeah. So exactly, it's not equal value here. Whatever you think is valuable or worth it, it is not. And then with exchanging gifts here, yeah, this is exchanging without realizing it. Many of you aren't aware of how much the stress has taken over not just your body and your life, but your energy. So this is exchanging your focus from your higher self to your external circumstances. Like the Five of Pentacles, she is fueled by stress or hunger, her lack of something. That is all she can focus on or think about, is the fact that she is lacking this thing. So it's like you've exchanged what you are being motivated or moved by, basically. All right, the next card that we have here is... And with stone people vigilance, be more vigilant, pile one. Put more restrictions on the things that you decide to give your energy to, because not everything needs your energy. Not everything needs that. All right, and the next card that we have here is Ajna. Forgive me if I am mispronouncing this. It looks like Ajna. I know that this is the third eye. I just don't know how to pronounce it, so forgive me for mispronouncing it. And then we have here Pearl of Sharrow. Dreams, Incubation, and Handwriting Authenticity. Okay. All right, so got some purple going on here. Purple, indigo, violet sort of color. Yeah, so that is definitely the third eye. Your third eye is very active, very, very active. But starting off here with dreams and handwriting, definitely pay attention to your dreams for sure. Like I said, we have some indigo purplish colors here. That's sort of like your third eye crown chakra area. So definitely pay attention to your dreams. This is how your higher self talks to you a lot. For some of you, what I'm hearing right now is your nightmares, okay? Your nightmares is really sort of coming into focus right now. What I'm picking up on. So it's the dreams that you don't like to remember are the ones that you really, really, really need to pay attention to, pile one. As well as if you dream of something or someone chasing you, dive into that. I don't know why, but I feel like some of you dream of something chasing you. It's just the feeling that I'm picking up here. Yeah, some of you have recurring dreams of something chasing you. That's a message from your higher self, and it's not a nightmare at all. So really look into that. And handwriting here, some of you guys are able to perform automatic writing. If you have or haven't already, you are able to perform automatic writing. That's another way that your higher self speaks to you, is when you write. So when you write, the words may just sort of pour into you from seems like nowhere, as well as your words, you may hear random words in your thoughts, in your head, in your dreams as well. You may see things written out in your dreams. You may dream about different time periods. For many of you, it's also glimpses of your past life that you're seeing. If you dream of different time periods, you're seeing different glimpses of your past life. So your dreams, they have a lot more going on than what meets the eye. That's for usually just about everyone, that our dreams mean a lot more than what just meets the eye. It's usually something going on within the subconscious and the unconscious. But especially for my pile ones, this is also your third eye being extremely, extremely active. And when I'm saying like your third eye, I'm not just talking about your subconscious. I am talking about that is your portal to other energies, other realms, other dimensions. So in your dreams, if you are seeing different time periods, you're more than likely seeing, it's more than likely a portal or a doorway. It's a vessel for you to sort of experience or almost like re-experience one of your past lives, okay? So as far as it goes with Ajna here and Pearl of Sharrow, I'm going to be reading these for you guys. That the way you guys know what they mean. But it says here, you've been using your sixth sense recently, your intuitive powerhouse, the third eye, and it is guiding you in the right direction. Your third eye sees far beyond your two eyes and the limitations of your mind, which can only dream up what is known. Your intuition speaks to you in whispers and visions and feelings. Find the language of your third eye and continue to follow its hunches as you have been. The more you become aware of it, the easier the dialogue becomes. Your third eye is taking you on the very journey that your soul was put on this planet to fulfill. Exactly like I was saying, this is your dreams is like a portal to different dimensions and stuff. It says here, continuing to read, it says you came here to live, love, and learn. As long as you continue viewing the world from your third eye, you will surpass all limitations and find yourself limitless. Trust your intuition and keep moving forward. The path will continue to illuminate as you take the steps. I love that. So yeah, like I was saying, that is you being sort of, when you're dreaming, you're actually traveling, you're astral traveling. Okay, for my pile ones, very many of you, you're actually astral traveling. You probably also have a lot of lucid dreams as well for my pile ones. And then reading Pearl of Shadow here. And this card here says, taking responsibility for your experiences empowers you. You are going to resolve an issue through spiritual inspiration and higher guidance. Yes, you will rise up in full connection to your spirit and access a wealth of divine treasure. And look, I was talking about sort of like money or something down here, and it says that you're going to, you will rise up in full connection to your spirit and access a wealth of divine treasure. That's very interesting for my pile ones. That which has brought darkness into your world shall submit to the light and be transformed. Have courage and commitment to your awakening, for you are a precious being and can go far on the spiritual path this lifetime. I love that. So yeah, there's again, even in this card, it came up talking about treasures, talking about resolving an issue through spiritual inspiration and higher guidance. Like I said, you're sort of blocked off from your higher guidance right now. Just like this Five of Pentacles, you're sort of there's a part of you looking for your higher self, and it's like it's right in front of you. Your higher self is like, I'm right here, I'm right in front of you. You just have to sort of detach from a certain part of your ego. And when I say ego, I don't mean egotistical. Ego in spirituality means the way that we identify. This is the way that we see ourselves. So there's something that you've placed a bit of your identity into. We do this with relationships. We do this with jobs. We do this with our possessions, with the things that we own. We do this with our lifestyles. You know, we place our identity into a lot of different things, and your higher self is saying, in order to find me, you have to detach from this thing that you think defines you. That is how you're going to find me. That the way you won't feel abandoned, neglected, and alone out here in the world, because you're separated from your higher self right now. And that may be why you're feeling very alone. If you've been dealing with feelings of isolation, feeling alone, things like that, I know that at the time of me filming this, many people are self-isolating, self-quarantining, whatever it's called. You know, this is a timeless reading, but I know at the time of this, very many of us are self-isolating. So you may feel very alone right now. This is your higher self trying to connect with you. And as well as, like I said, if anything has really fallen through, like an opportunity, a job, something that you were really excited about, if it sort of fell through and it didn't end up working out, that's because your higher self is saying that you need to consult me. That the way we can get back on the right path. That the way I can guide you to the right people and the right doors that are just going to be open for you. That the way you won't keep running into disappointment and things that are going to fall through, people that are going to fall through, people that you know, maybe they aren't who you thought they were. Maybe, you know, maybe this idea, maybe this project wasn't what you thought it was. You know, that the way you can see these things before they strike in your life, basically. That's what your highest self really wants to get across to my pile ones today. So, yeah, this is all that I'm seeing for my pile ones so far. Or not so far, but this is all that I'm seeing for my pile ones. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I do pray this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. I want to take this time out to thank your beautiful guides, my beautiful guides, our higher self, of course, our higher self for coming through, and Spirit itself for these messages today. Hopefully you all come back to visit me sometime soon, but until next time, you guys stay safe, blessed, and keep conquering the world, all right? Bye. All right, in pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting off with tarot cards before making our way to your oracle cards. So let's go ahead and see what message your higher self wants to give to you today. And the very first tarot card that we have here is the Nine of Wands in reverse. And then we have Moonchild also in reverse. And Moonchild, this is a card that came extra with this particular deck of cards. So it's not typically included in like a tarot deck. The loudest message that I am getting from your higher self pile 2 is to open up. they want you to open up more. Your higher self wants you to open up more, to dance with vulnerability, to take chances. You shelter a lot of parts of yourself, it feels like, or maybe not shelter, maybe that's the wrong word, but you keep certain parts of yourself kind of hidden away from consumption. You have so many layers, and your higher self wants you to strip them all away. And it's 12:12 right now, looking at the clock. I just looked at the clock, it's 12:12. Also, I want to ask, do you get vulnerable with the people in your life? Do you have an issue getting emotionally deep with others? There's a lot of reservations here, pile 2. You may for sure be a Cancer or have some fourth house placements in your chart to have this Moonchild card here. But you know, the Moonchild card, it's also in reverse. And the moon represents us, our instincts, our inner emotional self, how we survive basically. And it's in reverse, again, telling me that there is a disconnect or an avoidance possibly with some really deep suppressed emotions. They want to come out because when we refuse to deal with something, even emotions like pain, disappointment, grief, shame, regret, trauma, when we avoid these heavy emotions, we shut the door to our higher self. The higher self does not coexist with lower vibrations, right? And when we choose to not deal with things, that is us deciding to hold on to it. So these emotions exist whether we want them to or not, whether we acknowledge them or not. So they don't just dissipate because we choose to ignore them. We have to feel them and allow them to express through our body. Our body is a conductor of energy. We have to feel these things and express them in order to release them. So that could be ways like writing, journaling, crying, creating something, going to therapy, talking it out, talking it through. These emotions have to be channeled because they cannot be shut down, killed, or stopped, and they cannot be repressed. They will instead just sit there consuming us. So express them constructively and not destructively, because that'll just counteract the entire process of healing and releasing. As well as you are very connected to the moon, pile 2. So get in touch with it. You may be very fascinated by the moon or notice it in the sky all the time, or love being near water, the ocean. You might like swimming. You might love just sort of moon gazing, looking out at the stars, looking out at a full moon. Things like this you may have an affinity to. You may even have a distaste for water even. This is another telltale sign that we are trying to avoid emotions. Having a certain dislike for colors, elements, sounds, lots of different things will tell you a lot about what's going on internally. So we have to pay attention to the things that we're drawn to and are turned off by, because it's all for a very specific reason. But you may have even had some sort of interest at some point in getting to know or learning about the different phases of the moon and how you can use the moon to manifest. That's your highest self trying to connect you to magic, to power, and most importantly, your emotions. But you may be resisting it a bit. As well as my pile 2s, astrology may be a very powerful thing for you in terms of like a key, you know? And that's exactly what tarot is. We call tarot cards keys because they unlock certain doors and they allow us to go in and sort of explore different parts of ourselves that we may have sort of compartmentalized or put away and forgotten about. So, you know, tarot cards, astrology, these things sort of open us up and we develop more of a wide-angled lens to life instead of just sort of seeing things in like this tunnel vision where it's like, well, no, I've put these things to the side, or I've put these things in my past, or I've stored these things away somewhere. So I don't need to necessarily, acknowledge them. So, things like tarot and astrology really helps to open us up. And I feel like my pile 2s, you're on a journey to really relearning yourself and opening up other parts of yourself that you may have shut off or closed down. And I feel like that's something that your higher self really wants to guide you on and sort of assist you with in a way. Because your higher self understands that it's taxing on you emotionally, physically, mentally. Your higher self understands that and they want to help. They definitely want to help. So let's go on ahead and take a look at you guys' oracle cards here to see what else it is that we're seeing. All right, the very first card that we have here is Parvati in reverse. I think I'm saying that right. If I'm not, please forgive me. Then we have here New Moon Promise, also in reverse. And I'm reading the rest of the oracle cards in reverse because these cards can be pulled in reverse. So I decided why not read all the oracle cards for this reading in reverse. Okay, and then the next card that we have here is Yang, also in reverse. Okay, this is painting an interesting picture. Then we have here Yogini of 285 hertz. I've been listening to this hertz a lot. And then we have here, and this card here represents how your higher self chooses to contact you and communicate with you. And it says here, fortune cookie fortuitous. All right, so starting off with this Yang card in reverse. Yang is the other half to Yin. You know how we have yin yang. Yin represents the feminine, yang represents the masculine. So this is masculine energy in reverse. So this right here is telling me that you may see emotions as weak, or you may see emotions as the opposite of anything that is strong, healthy, stable, secure, or relevant. You may see emotions as, these don't get me anywhere and they never have, so why waste time on my feelings? Or you may be the type of person that doesn't or has not processed the things that have deeply affected you. This masculine card in reverse is saying there's a warped or distorted view of what emotions are and how important they are. And so because of that, you just sort of see emotions as like, just something where it's like, I don't necessarily need to deal with that. That's not going to necessarily get me anywhere. When in actuality, that is the one thing, that's the main thing that's sort of blocking you off from your higher self. If you feel blocked off from your higher self, if you don't feel as in tune from your higher self, if you're not receiving messages from your higher self, this is why. Because there's certain things emotionally that you need to process and deal with, that you need to express. Okay? Moving on here to, let's just talk about fortune cookie fortuitous. When it comes to fortune cookie fortuitous, I'm seeing the number 3 and the number 4. And maybe even like the middle of the month, like the halfway point of the month, maybe like the 14th or 14 days. Maybe the number 14 is significant to you. A birthday or age or amount of years, I don't know. As well as your higher self is saying that it speaks to you through opportunities and good fortune. When things work out by surprise, this is your higher self working things out in the higher realms. I think your higher self just wants you to know that the way you can start connecting these dots and seeing that positive thinking and emotions will help you move mountains. Positive thinking and emotions are actually valuable. They are actually a necessity, as well as song lyrics, poetry, phrases, quotes that you come across are usually from your higher self. There may be a big risk as well, or a gamble that you need to take pretty soon. Your higher self wants you to stay positive about that and know that it will work out for your highest and greatest good. So don't be worried about it, but for sure, there's some sort of gamble or risk my pile 2s are going to be making pretty soon. Maybe it's already something that you're kind of wrestling with right now. That might be something that you're trying to decide between right now, but for sure there's some sort of a gamble. It's going to feel like a gamble. It's going to feel like a risk. It's going to feel like a leap of faith that's coming up very soon, that your highest self really wants to help guide you through and kind of be that support system for you, that comfort zone for you, basically, through that, because it's going to be a little bit emotionally taxing on you. Because there's going to be a little bit of fear, like, oh my gosh, like this is a really big risk. What if it doesn't work out? But don't be worried about it. Moving on here to new moon promise in reverse. Again, we have another moon card. Isn't that interesting? Moonchild and new moon promise in reverse. So you are highly intuitive, pile 2. Your higher self really wants you to exercise your muscle of intuition because it is trying to speak to you. But if you are avoiding a difficult emotion, or if you find it difficult to even emote at all, then you may be blocking this contact, like I was saying earlier. So new moon, work with the moon to manifest, because there's a lot that wants to come to you, that wants to come into your life, but you need cosmic divine guidance in order to know how to get to it, in order to be guided to it. And that is what I really believe that your highest self wants to say the most to my pile 2s, is like, I want to guide you through this, because if you allow me to help you, if you allow me to speak to you intuitively, to give you these little intuitive nudges and hits, you're going to be guided to something that ends up being more successful or more victorious versus a disappointment. Okay. All right. And then Parvati, I'm going to read what this means in the book here. And Parvati, okay, it says, Like a body with no spinal cord, you may have lost your grounding and become loose, floating in every direction. What is it you are committed to? A person with no commitments is like a wave with no direction. It is crucial to always have direction in life, and that direction should always be pointing inward. Spiritual development is a journey that unfolds only when you begin to walk the path. Recommit yourself to your daily asana and meditation practice for 30 days and watch your life slowly rebuild its spinal cord. Wow, that's interesting. And this is the goddess of devotion, love, and yoga, Parvati. Okay, so just like this card was just saying, it said here that it's crucial to always have direction in life, and that direction should always be pointing inward. Spiritual development is a journey that unfolds only when you begin to walk the path. Like I said, you may be sort of resisting walking your path, because like I said, you kind of have compartmentalized things, and you may have pushed certain things out of the way, like I'll deal with this later, I'll deal with that later, I'm going to sort of suppress this and repress that. And these things are trying to come out. They want to be expressed. And just like this card says, you need to focus inwards, because that's where a lot of this internal sort of warfare is happening, between you trying to resist certain things or trying to avoid certain emotions. And these emotions, they're like banging on the door, like, let us out, let us out. And you kind of got like your back up to the door, like, no, you're not getting out, you know? And so that's where a lot of that internal warfare is coming from. So just like this card said, focus more so inwards, okay? And then this card here, Yogini of 285 hertz. And you guys may hear the crows. I'm sorry, they like to do this when when I sit down to film. They like to come out and, I don't know, maybe they're trying to get their own reading. But it says here, changes in your life, including closing doors or missed. This is interesting. I kept talking about how your emotions are like behind closed doors. But that's interesting. But it says changes in your life, including closing doors or missed opportunities, are not going to derail your fulfillment. Realignments are happening based on divine wisdom and timing. You are being diverted from unnecessary obstacles and suffering. Yep. Trust in how your life path is unfolding. Stay true to your authentic healing journey, because it is working. Whether you realize that or not, significant inner healing is taking place. Again, with the inner healing, there's something that you have sort of compartmentalized that needs to be expressed. It needs to be let out. It wants to be let out. Okay, so for sure there's something going on within the inner emotional self. Like I said, we have the moon child card here, and new moon. This is the internal self. This is our inner emotions, our instincts. This is how we survive. We use this intuitive muscle for our survival. So for sure, deal with those emotions. Whatever's going on inside, internally, deal with them. Don't suppress them. Try to let them out. And if you're finding it difficult to deal with these things, or if you're finding it difficult, like, I don't even know what I need to work on, just allow it to be a process. You know, you don't need to like rush and figure these things out and be like, oh, it's this, and this. Just allow it to be a process, and it'll come to you. It'll come to you. But just allow yourself to feel whatever you need to feel. If it's fear, ask yourself, follow the breadcrumb trail of whatever it is that you're feeling. Follow the breadcrumb trail. Well, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel fear? Why do I feel sadness? Why do I feel anger? Why do I feel rage? Why do I feel apathy? You know, whatever it is that you feel, follow that feeling, and it will lead you back to that door that you've been trying to keep closed shut. Okay, because when we have suppressed emotions, we can honestly lose track of them. I know I did it most of my life. So, you know, there's things where it's like, damn, I didn't even know I needed to deal with that, you know? So, yeah, but this is all that I'm seeing for my pile twos. Other than that, you guys have like I said, a sort of a risk, a big gamble coming up, but I really do think that is for sure going to work out as long as you're being guided by your higher self. But in order to hear guidance from your higher self, you have to go through those doors that you really are trying to keep shut, okay? So this is all that I'm seeing for my pile twos. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I pray this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. I want to take this time out to thank your guides, my guides, our higher selves, of course, for coming through, and beautiful spirit itself for delivering these messages today. Hopefully you all come back to visit me sometime soon, but until next time, stay safe, blessed, keep conquering the world, and I'll be back next time. All right, bye guys. All right, and pile number 3, welcome to your reading. Oh wow, we're starting off this one with a bit of a bang. Okay. I can't even get out your little intro in the beginning here. We're going to be starting with your tarot cards before making our way to your oracle cards. I've just got a really high pitch ringing in both of my ears, and it's really hard. I almost felt a little lightheaded for a second. So let's see what's going on here, pile 3, because that is interesting. Like literally the second I touched your cards, it just... Okay, so the very first tarot card that we have here is, okay, makes sense, Page of Swords. So we've got some air energy going on right away with our pile 3. And the next card that we have is, yeah, the Four of Swords. Okay, so we've got some air energy happening, some really intense air energy happening, because like I said, my head just sort of I felt very, very, very lightheaded. And it makes sense. We have 2 swords cards. Okay, but this was interesting though, because this was my easy to flip pile. Everything came through very, very, very easily here with my pile 3s. The message here from your higher self is to go find your higher self. And if you already have, jump down the rabbit hole. Go as far and as deep into this different state of consciousness as you can, because there's a lot of realizations happening here. We've got a lot of air energy. When we're dealing with swords, when we're dealing with the air, we're dealing with the mind, the intellect, how we learn, how we communicate. This is telepathy, this is contact through the mind, basically. So this is consciousness, psyche, The Page of Swords is a deliverer or student of information, knowledge, and messages. It's a student of the mind, and the Four of Swords is deep contemplation. The Four of Swords is a merging of wisdom from one realm outside of life to the 3D realm. So when we're dealing with the Four of Swords, we're dealing with somebody that is in very deep contemplation. They're accessing different dimensions while being present in the 3D world. While still being in their flesh, bone, blood, body, they are accessing higher states of consciousness that don't exist in the 3D realm. So this is almost like existing in 2 places at once. It might be why I got that powerful ringing like that. But yeah, for sure, you're sort of merging with wisdom here. Your higher self wants you to explore, dive deep, research philosophies or religions or archaic knowledge, because it's going to lead you to your own wisdom. There's messages that you need to pass on to others as well, pile 3. Dreams, you may have prophetic dreams a lot. Or you may receive messages in your dreams from people that have passed on, because you are a medium. You have some mediumship abilities here. Whether you know it or not, you sometimes communicate with souls that have passed on. You have received messages that you need to deliver to someone else, or maybe an audience of people, but your higher self wants you to know it's a gift of yours that you've been given, and it wants you to express it a bit more. Okay. All right, what I'm picking up here, okay, some of you are a little afraid of this gift, and that's why you haven't used it. Your higher self wants you to realize that this is a gift, not a curse. It's not meant to make you fear anything, but to actually help empower you. That way you can empower others, whether you're empowering other human beings or other energies, other spirits. Because you cannot escape this gift. This gift will always try to reach out to you, because you are a vessel of communication to the spirit realm. As well as for many of you, there's a certain conversation that you need to have about boundaries in your own life. Something you may need to say no or yes to, but don't be worried about how you come across, because this needs to happen, or maybe it just did recently happen. But there's some sort of boundaries that you need to put over your life or your home or your body, your energy, your mind, definitely your mind. There's some boundaries that need to definitely happen around your own mental headspace and your mental health, because there's sort of things like bombarding it. There's something that is trying to come in. I think something sort of tried to come in, and that's why I got that really powerful ringing. And the thing is like, my pile 3s, you guys need to really sort of develop a shield around yourself, especially mentally. Psychic protection is what is needed, because if you are feeling the state of fear, it sort of almost fear invites in more fear. Whatever it is we feel, it invites in that same frequency. So fear can invite in more fear. It can invite in other things that try to scare you in a sense. And I don't want to scare you. I don't want to put more fear out there for you or anything like that. But definitely there are things trying to bombard you, because they feed off of the fear that you may be emitting, okay? So it's really, really important to have some psychic protection, some mental protection. You need to protect your mental health for sure. That's something that your higher self really wants you to know, pile 3. Protect your mental health. She's even pointing to her mind. And as you can see, she's actually meditating. So yeah, protect your mental health. Let's go ahead and check out you guys' oracle cards. Because whatever hit, it was very odd. That ringing in my ear, it wasn't like a normal ringing. It was like something was trying to like come in, and my energy didn't allow it to come in. Yeah, something's trying to come in, and if you are afraid, that's you letting your guard down. That's it getting access to you. Very, very important, because like I said, whatever was trying to come in, like my energy like didn't allow it. I do too much spiritual work and protection work for anything to come in that's not supposed to be here, because that didn't feel right. It wasn't scary or anything. I don't get scared of any of this stuff anymore. I used to be scared my entire life of this spiritual stuff and of my gifts and things like that, because I didn't like the things that I was seeing. For me, it wasn't love and light and positive, things and rainbows and cotton candy and sunshine that I was seeing with my spiritual gifts. I was seeing like lower vibrational entities. I was seeing demonic entities. I was seeing things that really scared the shit out of me. And I was seeing them at a very formidable age. Like I was seeing them when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And, so these are things that I saw for years, and it made me run from spirituality. And because of that, I noticed that a lot more fear came into my life. But since I have gone on my spiritual journey in the last couple of years, when I finally decided to get back into my spirituality, the one thing that I decided to commit myself to was from here on out, I refuse to be afraid of this. If this is my gift, if this is what I'm meant to do, I refuse to be afraid of this. You will not cause me to have fear of something that is a part of me, of something that is a part of my purpose, my assignment, my job here. So it's the same thing that I'm feeling for you, pile 3. Whatever it is, if you find fear with any of your spirituality, with any of your gifts, you tell fear to go play in traffic. Literally. Like, get really serious with your fear. Have a conversation and say, you are not permitted in my life, in my home, in the life and in the homes of my loved ones. You are not allowed here. You have to leave. And you make sure that you really say it with power. And the best way to put some power behind that is to allow your higher self to accompany you in this sort of conversation. To allow your higher self to help banish this fear out of your life. Okay? Because I haven't had a scary experience since. And we have here, the very first card that we have is Diana, I don't know if I'm saying this right. You guys, please forgive me if I'm not. But yeah, we have that card. And then we have here Dreamtime Creation. Wow. Ishtar's Lion Gate, 888. No Place Like Home. Garuda Suparna. Don't know if I'm saying that right. And then this card here is how does your higher self contact you or communicate with you? And we have here a Ouija board caution. A Ouija board caution, and it's in reverse. The only reversal here. Okay. And I'm reading the oracle cards in reverse because these oracle cards are able to be read in reverse. So I figured, why not read the rest of the oracle cards that way too? But you only have one reversal here. All right, so we're going to be starting off with the one that's really standing out to me, and that's No Place Like Home. There's something that is just strikingly... It's a striking card to me for some reason. I don't know why, but it's really sticking out to me. I'm going to hold this up actually, because I want you guys to experience this with me. But basically, there's a gift that lives within you. Like I was saying, this is your spiritual gift that lives within you. And there's two moons in these tarot cards down here, in the Page of Swords and in this Four of Swords. Well, I don't know if this is a moon in the Page of Swords, but it kind of looks like it. And then we clearly have a moon behind her in this Four of Swords here. So, and the moon is the mother, right? You know, because that's what the moon is. The moon is something that's a part of us. It's your instincts. It's your inner self, your most original self, your most authentic self. The moon is the mother. The mother is what we come from. So you were created with this gift, pile 3. So do not fear it and realize that you are in control, okay? There's a house here. There's a house in this card, this little house, this little home right here. This house is here to tell you that you are the owner of your own home. If you do not want certain energies in your vicinity, then you tell them to leave, because that's how powerful we are as humans. That is how powerful we are. We're not just human. We're not just 100% human. We are human, and we are also spirit. So we are able to command spirits. We are able to banish them if we do not want them around. All right. So basically, if you do not want these energies in your vicinity, then you tell them to leave. If you do not want to be contacted sometimes, tell them, hey, not right now, or not today. I'm tired. I need my rest. I don't feel like communicating. I don't feel like receiving a message. You're allowed to say that. As well as some of you may be having disturbances in your home that scares you. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Remember, this is your home, okay? There's a plane. Give me a second. So remember that the life that you are living is your own home. And I'm talking about in all capacities. So I'm talking about in terms of your aura, in terms of your energy, in terms of your body and your physical home, your apartment, your house. That is your domain. So that means that you rule over it and make it how you like, but do not have fear, because you are the one in control. Okay? You're the one in control. And, you know, especially like, don't believe the hype. You know, I know there's like a lot of movies and TV shows and stuff that says that like all this stuff, all these hauntings, it's basically things that you have no control over. It's things that you just sort of have to take it as it is, you know. But that's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true. We have a lot more control than what we give ourselves credit for. And so for sure, be careful with your fear, pile 3, because your cards, like I said, yeah, your cards came out really easily when I was shuffling. They just sort of flew out. And that's exactly what fear does to us. It drops our guard and it makes it easy for things to access our own energy, okay? And it's like these cards just sort of, it was just so easy to sort of get a reading on your energy. So that to me was telling. That told me that you need more of a barrier or more of a shield around your own energy. That the way you're not so easily accessible. Okay? So no fear. Remember, this is your house. And then moving on to a Ouija board caution down here. Exactly. So things may move around in your home, or you may hear creaks and little things like that. Things may randomly go missing from time to time. You may see apparitions or shadow people. I refer to them as shadow people. Sorry, you guys, I had a phone call. But yes, what was I saying? And I love the fact that I cannot get your message out like nonstop. There's just been like planes flying over like the last like 2 or 3 minutes. This is wild. This is wild. Something does not want you to receive this message. This is crazy. When I first started with your pile, like my head was just ringing. I felt like lightheaded. Yeah, something doesn't want me to get this out. Well, guess what? You fucked with the wrong one coming over here, okay? So don't worry, pile 3, I got your back. But yeah, for sure, what was I saying? Corner visions, yes. You may see apparitions or shadow people, I refer to them as. Corner visions, you know, those little shadows that you see in the corner of your eye. You may even see full-on apparitions as well. This is how your higher self talks to you, pile 3. Your higher self will also come through, sort of moving things around in your home. So sometimes your energy may move things to get your attention, because that's what an Ouija board does, right? Because there's like a little, what's it called? A little planchette that comes with the Ouija boards, because that's what an Ouija board does, right? They physically move the dial to communicate. The spirit board, it physically moves that dial in order to communicate with us. So there's a lot of physical occurrences that happen around you because these are different energies trying to communicate, especially your higher self. Your higher self kind of comes through to move things around as well. Not to scare you. It's not trying to scare you. Your higher self isn't anyways. Your higher self is not trying to scare you. Your higher self is trying to get your attention. Now, the other energies that are moving things around, those are more than likely, in my opinion, they're more than likely spirits in the spirit realm, people that have passed on, souls that have passed on that are trying to reach out. And souls that pass on, they reach out to the humans that are able to see them and hear them and communicate with them. That's why they go to certain people, and that's why mediums, they get bombarded with these different sort of paranormal phenomena, because these energies know. It's just like a 911 call center, you know, like these spirits that have passed on, they know only certain humans have their eye open enough to be able to see me, hear me, and communicate with me. So this is why there's so much occurrences around you. And this is why, like, other people, you know, you may sort of feel like an outcast from other people, where it's like other people don't experience this because other people don't have the gifts that you have. Okay. So that is why they're coming to you, because they know that, like, you can see me. So it's almost like an excitement sort of thing most of the time. And they're not trying to scare you. I almost feel like they're a little bit sorry. I feel like there is maybe a couple of them are coming through saying, like, I'm sorry if I scared you. I was just trying to get your attention. I didn't know how to. So yeah, but you can tell them that. You can tell them, like, you know, if you want my attention, there's other ways to do it. You know, there's other ways to do it. Maybe you can open up some certain times of the day. I know this sounds weird, but literally, yeah, you could open up certain times of the day where it's like, okay, if you want to communicate with me, this is the time where I want you to communicate with me. If I'm sleeping, if it's at night, if I'm at home alone by myself, no, I do not want that. You know, you can set this up how it is comfortable for you. Like I said, this is your fucking house. It's your home, all right? So you're the one that's allowed to dictate how something happens and when it happens, okay? Now, dreamtime creation. Your dreams may feel extremely vivid and real, pile 3, almost like you can't tell the difference between reality and a dream. And this is because you are experiencing other dimensions when you sleep, pile 3. You aren't seeing or dreaming, but you are actually there, okay? So your spirit is actually there. Again, do not fear any of it. There's a lot that you can discover and do. You can also communicate or leave an impression on the realm that you are visiting when you're sleeping, when you're dreaming. So this is a very fluid realm for you. Your dreams is a very fluid realm for you. But you will get used to it if you remove the fear. You'll begin realizing your own stake and importance to the spirit realm, and you'll be able to participate in your dreams and take more control over them as you get more used to it and as you get more acquainted with it, okay? So yeah, let me go on ahead. I'm going to read the book for these two cards and that card there. All right, and for this card here, Garuda Suparna, don't know if I'm saying that right. It says, cultivate confidence in yourself. Exactly, my pile 3. You have the inner spiritual power to deal wisely and effectively with any situation. Do not allow anyone to take advantage of your kind nature. Yep. Reflect upon what action feels best for you to take, and then follow through with decisiveness. Do not allow negativity to get a grip in your life. What was I saying? Don't let fear get a grip on you, pile 3. It's okay, I got your back. And it says here, positive energy and outcomes are indicated. Beautiful, I love that. And then moving on here to Ishtar's Lion Gate, 888. Okay, yeah. This card says, your heart has a heightened connection with the higher realms of consciousness and light. What? Oh my God. A blessing, empowerment, and positive omens shall enter your world. Doors will open for you. Abundance and prosperity are headed your way. Take care of your heart. Ask for spiritual assistance, and it shall be granted. Something negative is going to transform into something very positive. Okay, so ask your guides, your angels, your guardian angels, your higher self. Get your spiritual team. Call a group meeting with your spiritual team and tell them, okay, I've got some things going on that are scaring the hell out of me. You know, I need you to help me with this. I need you to empower me. I need you to strengthen me so that I don't feel this fear. And that the way I am able to dictate how these things communicate and talk with me and engage with me, right? And then with this card here, it says, When was the last time you fully became immersed in what you were doing? Dhyana is when the dancer becomes the dance, the singer becomes the song, the painter becomes the paint, the lover becomes the love. There is no difference between the doer and the deed. I love that. You merge as one. You have pulled the Dhyana card to remind you that now is the time to transition from doing to embodying. Exactly, like I was saying, realize that this is your house. When you say leave me alone, you need to embody that. Find that which you can merge with and practice it fully. Become the words in your journal, the asana in your practice, the nature with which you surround yourself, and notice your presence expand. Exactly. You're going to get stronger. You just have to embody the power and the control that you truly do have, because you have a lot of it. You just have to embody that, okay? So, yeah, this was beautiful, pile 3. Like I said, don't worry. I got you guys. And also I'm going to be lighting a candle for you guys as protection and for your strength and for your power to really come through and to help protect you and shield you in some protection, okay? So this is all I'm seeing, pile 3. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I pray this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. I want to take this time out to thank your beautiful guides, my beautiful guides, our higher self, of course, our higher self for coming through today, and amazing spirit itself for delivering this message. Hopefully you all come back to visit me sometime soon, but until next time, stay safe, blessed, keep conquering the world, and I'll be back later. Bye, guys. All right, and pile number 4, welcome to your reading. So we're going to be starting off with your tarot cards before getting to the stack of oracle cards here. So let's go ahead and see what your higher self has to say to you today, okay? And the very first card that we have here is the Ten of Swords in reverse. Then we have here Divine Wisdom and the King of Wands. So what I'm picking up here that your higher self really wants you to know is you were saved from something that should have really crippled you, destroyed you, or defeated you. Like it should have completely knocked you out. But there was this inner fire warrior in you that came out. That was your higher self. That's the message that your higher self wants you to know is, hey, that was me. Your higher self really likes recognition. I mean, we do have the King of Wands here, but your higher self really wants you to know it was me, because your higher self wants you to lean on its strength a little bit more. Your higher self doesn't want you to wait for things to get bad or out of hand before you reach out and ask for help. Your higher self wants to team up or collaborate with you, to work in tandem with you a bit more, because it seems like the only time they're really active for some of you is when things are really tense or stressful, and your higher self wants to be around for the good times and the peaceful times as well, so it can strategize with you. So your higher self is this energy all day, this King of Wands right here. That's the energy of your higher self. I keep seeing the image of like a war general or something, like making war plans. Like your higher self is ready to go out and conquer life. You see how these 2 cards here are looking at this Ten of Swords in reverse? There's something that you keep... Okay, this is a different message coming in. There's something that you keep nailing yourself to the cross over, pile 4. Some sort of cycle that you need to escape because it's taking you away from your divine plan. Whatever this cycle is, some of you are still involved in it because this Ten of Swords is in reverse and it's not upright. Your High Priestess, because your High Priestess is also coming through as well with this Divine Wisdom card here, and your higher self, who is represented by this King of Wands. Whether you are male or female, whether you identify as male or female, your higher self is very masculine, passionate, fire energy. Very much so. It's very, and when I say masculine just means in spirituality that it's more proactive, it's more of a go-getter versus an energy that draws in. It's more of an energy that conquers, that dominates, that takes, so it's very proactive energy. Your higher self is, okay? So the thing that I'm seeing here, your High Priestess and your higher self are working to get you away from whatever this karmic cycle is, represented by this Ten of Swords in reverse. Something you need to think about. There's something you need to think about walking away from or doing less of, because these higher versions of yourself are using a lot of energy doing damage control or crisis management on this one situation or person. And that may be only some of you, but it's a very strong message here. They want you freed from this. whatever this Ten of Swords in reverse is, these two guys here, your High Priestess and your King of Wands, your High Priestess and your higher self, they want you completely freed, completely separated from whatever this Ten of Swords in reverse is. If it was up to them, they'd have you completely broken apart and separated from it. So this is interesting. I don't know if your higher self is split between this High Priestess version and this King of Wands. But I feel like your High Priestess is here along with your King of Wands. And the both of them are coming through saying, because your High Priestess is your divine wisdom, your higher self is the highest version of you. So it's the more so evolved, consciously evolved version of you. So these two versions of yourself working together are both telling you the same thing: to leave some sort of karmic cycle alone. And if you have intuitively selected pile 4, you more than likely know what I'm talking about. Whether this is a relationship, a person, a job, a lifestyle, a habit, routine, whatever it is, they want you separated from it for sure, because it's not necessarily over yet. For many of you, this isn't over yet, and this is why this Ten of Swords is in reverse. You can walk away from this at any point in time, but it's like it's something that you keep almost like running back to, or you keep doing it. And I feel like some of you have said, this is the last time that I'm going back, or this is the last time that I'm doing this. And then it's like oh, this is heartbreaking. For some of you, it's like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to keep putting myself through this. And then when the opportunity comes back around, either you're hoping that it's different, or you're hoping that you're different in some way, shape, or form, where you're like, you know what? I'm not going to deal with the same things. So even if I do come back, there's going to be some different sort of stipulations. There's going to be some different circumstances here. But it usually ends in some sort of disappointment. Let's go ahead and check out you guys' oracle cards here to see what else it is that your higher self wants to say to you today. Okay. The very first card that we have here is Santosha. I don't know if I'm saying that right, you guys. Please forgive me if I'm not. Beautiful card, though. Love it. Then we have here peace. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they want you away from this thing, whatever it is. They want more peace in your life. And they know that in order for you to have more peace in your life, you got to get away from this thing. Then we have here Desert Vision Quest. Yeah. Telepathy of Terra Mater? I don't know. Interesting, though. And then we have here Ogum Nature in reverse. And the reason why I'm doing reversals with the oracle cards today is because this oracle card in particular can be pulled in reverse. So I figured why not do that with the rest of the oracle cards. So let's start off with Vision Quest, Desert Vision Quest. They're trying to help you see something for sure, pile 4. They want you to see the dead end of some sort of situation. This situation, relationship, or person is barren. You are not going to find anything of value here or support because there's nothing you can gain from it. Like I said, you keep sort of nailing yourself to the cross with something, and that's what your higher self wants you to see. They want you to see the fact that you keep participating in something that is going nowhere fast. It's going nowhere fast. It's like being out in the desert and you're looking for land. You're looking for a ravine. You're looking for water. You're looking for lush grass. And it's like you're in a place where this doesn't grow. You're looking for water, but you're in the desert. These two things don't go together, right? You know, it's like you're not going to find that here. You see this peace card? You guys see... Oh my God, I gotta hold this up. You guys see this peace card? How it's lush green, it's beautiful skies, clear blue, and then we have Desert Vision Quest. These couldn't be more opposite. They could not be more opposite. That's what you're looking for, this in the desert. You're looking for peace and chaos. You're looking for dark in the light or light in the dark. You're looking for things that don't go together. And it's not that it makes the desert a negative thing. It's not that it makes darkness a negative thing. It's not that this makes chaos a negative thing. But the thing that makes this experience negative is you're looking for the wrong thing in the wrong place. That's what makes this negative for you. You're in the wrong place. And you're not meant to be there. You're not meant to be there. Maybe at some point in time, the desert's going to be home for you. But right now, what's home for you is here. Lush green grass in a ravine. So for sure, that's what your higher self and your high priestess wants you to see with this desert vision quest. And then peace. Your higher self wants peace more than anything. Your higher self is a certified warrior, king of wands, and will kick ass. Your higher self is not worried about... Your higher self is a certified warrior, doesn't need a nice lush bed. And, they can survive in the desert. They can survive here. They can survive in the mountains. That's what a warrior is. They can really survive just about anything that other people wouldn't be able to survive. Like I said, that was the very first thing that I said in your reading was you got saved from something that should have really defeated you. That's because warriors don't get defeated. Warriors go to war. So they can survive any sort of environment and atmosphere. The thing is, though, is do you need to survive any sort of atmosphere? Is that necessary right now? Even a warrior knows that there's no war around for me to fight right now. So why do I have my gear, my armor, and my shield, and my weapons on me? Now's not the time to fight a war. There's a time and place for everything. Like I said, there's a time and place for you to be in the desert. There's a time and place for you to be here and to be here. Your higher self is a warrior and will kick ass, but only if needed. So like I said, it's more so right now in the state of damage control or crisis management, and it doesn't want to fight those types of battles. It wants to tackle life, not this. It wants to tackle life, not this. Not this. They're saying that this is an unnecessary waste of energy. They're saying that this is an unnecessary waste of energy. And I'm sorry that I keep saying them, but your high priestess is here as well. And they're both joining forces right now and saying, no, yeah, we've both been trying to contact you and you need to tear yourself away from this because you're in the desert. You're supposed to be over here right now. So they're trying to sort of recalibrate you. They're almost trying to correct you in a sense and put you back where you're supposed to be, because it's like, no, this will come maybe at some point, maybe not, but right now we're not supposed to be there. We have no business there. So it's a waste of energy. It's an unnecessary expenditure of energy. And then moving on to Ogam Nature here in reverse, your higher self, because these cards are to represent how your higher self communicates with you, how they come through with you, how they come to contact you. And so they speak to you in nature. But with this in reverse, I'm hearing them say that you are separated from nature. For some of you, this is literal. For others, it's more so metaphorical. Okay, you're separated from your true nature by dealing with the situation that you need to leave alone. You're separated from your true nature because you have something that needs, something that is used to the grass, lush green grass, is living in the desert. These things don't go together. There's reasons why there's certain animals that thrive in the desert and others that thrive in this type of environment, and there's others that thrive in the mountains in the freezing cold. There's a place for everything. And it's not to say that we have to stay in that place. We're very malleable creatures, we're adaptable creatures, so we can adapt. But the thing is like I said, should you have to adapt? Do you need to adapt right now? Or are you trying to force it? It could be a habit or a lifestyle as well, but it's something that's a waste of your time and energy. And I think that many of you know what this is. I think many of you know, this does not fit in my life, or I do not fit in this world. If you have to ask, then this might not be your pile, or you may have already kicked this thing to the curb, whatever it is. Okay. And as far as telepathy of Terra Mater, I don't know, but I'm going to read what it says in the book here. It says, the pathway for your spiritual fulfillment and the sacred manifestation of your purpose is not necessarily logical and will evolve organically. Wow. The skillful and unpredictable workings of the Earth Mother are supporting your soul journey unconditionally, following up on inspired ideas and allowing for unexpected shifts in direction. What did I tell you guys? Following up on inspired ideas and allowing for unexpected shifts in direction are integral to the manifestation of your soul purpose. Commit to an idea that feels good to your heart. Even if it seems improbable or unattainable, it will manifest successfully. I love that. So just like it said in this card here, there's going to be unexpected shifts in direction. Like I was saying here, you're in the wrong place, and your high priestess and your higher self is trying to redirect you or correct you. It's trying to take you from the desert where you're not supposed to be at and put you in this lush green grass. Or maybe you're a scorpion living in the lush green grass when you need to be in the desert, but either which way, they're trying to sort of correct you right now. But I feel like more so you're supposed to be with this sort of scenario versus this one, because this one's like vision quest. I'm looking for something, but over here it's peace, fulfillment. I found it, right? And then we have here Santosha. This card is all about contentment. It says you are at a place where you can relax, unwind, and be content with where you are. Like I was talking about with your warrior, like there's a time and place for war. Right now, you're allowed to kick your feet up and relax. You don't have to go to war right now. I'm going to read that again. It says you are at a place where you can relax, unwind, and be content with where you are. You have done tremendous work to be at this place. Now is the time to let it sink in and enjoy the fruits of your labor. We often spend our whole lives striving towards the next goal and skipping over accomplishments. We never allow ourselves to experience true Santosha, which is contentment for where we are at in this present moment. Take a few moments to close your eyes, place your hands on your heart, and breathe. Take in all that is around you, what you've co-created, how far you've come, how blessed you are, the people who love you, that you are safe, loved, and supported by the universe. You will not fall behind by taking a pause and being content with what you have. In fact, this Kapha earthy, I don't know what this says, Kapha earthy energy will nourish you throughout all your future endeavors. I love that. I love that. So again, it's just really honestly more of a play on what it is that we've already basically covered for my pile fours. But so yeah, this is all that I'm seeing for my pile fours. You guys are going to be more than okay. It's just a matter of, getting where you're supposed to be, basically. And that's really what your higher self and your high priestess as well really wants you to take away from this, because like I said, they're really watching this right now very closely. Whatever's going on in your own personal life, they're watching this very closely. And then again, look at this again. We have another card, this telepathy of Terra Mater, what I just read. They're all three of them are looking over at this. So they're really watching right now. We have people in this card, in the Santosha card, they're watching something as well down here. You see that? So there's something being watched. Vision quest. There's something being watched. All right, so this is all that I'm seeing, you guys. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I pray that this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. I want to take this time to thank your guides, my guides, of course, our higher self for coming through, amazing spirit itself for delivering these messages today. Hopefully you all come back to visit me sometime soon, but until next time, you guys stay safe, blessed, keep conquering the world, and I'll be back next time, all right? Bye, guys.